No, there really isn't. As many
You can't run a society thinking
as
like
many good people as you can find that do so much good, I guarantee you there's one bad thing that they've done in their life.
Absolutely.
Nobody is so pure that they...
But you just said there's no such thing as good and bad. Are you going to stand on that?
I'm going to stand...
Charles Manson is a good man?
I didn't say he was a good man.
Then what is he?
I didn't
Good
say
or bad?
He's a human being.
Can you make a decision for me?
I can't make a decision because I'm not...
You see?
Life
We can't make decisions if we won't decide, if we won't judge things. You don't want to judge things.
You should not be in a position to
We
judge
can't, and you can't run a society if you don't judge things.
You know what you should judge first?
Yourself.
Inside your house.
Yourself.
Yes. Respect the house.
Yes, but you know why the black community is doing so bad? You know why Africa's doing so bad? Because they don't judge things.
Thank you.
You know what Africa doesn't do? Africa doesn't judge things. Like Africa doesn't judge that we don't need these Chinese people in our country taking over everything, and we don't need them coming here. They don't want to judge that.
So
Africans don't want to judge that we shouldn't have let these Belgium in.
Inside the house.
Yeah, and that's what I'm dealing with right. I'm trying to deal with inside the. We're in the house right now. This is inside the house I'm dealing with.
Inside the house?
Are we not the same people?
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
This is in-house good politics.
No, I'm talking about the house. The house, like the country that we inhabit.
No, I don't want to worry about this because this is white folks. They're not my people. You my people. I care more about your mind than I do any white person in this country, man.
When we step outside this door, there is an ideology that is impressed upon every single one of us.
Yes.
So despite what conversation we might have inside this small house, inside this big house,
yes, ma'am.
What I'm trying to say is this is not our original house.
Yes, ma'am.
And every conversation we have, like you're talking about Christianity, all this stuff about what's going on in Haiti. Even Haiti is not Africa. You know what I'm saying? You were talking about a real issue.
Okay.
What's going on with the Chinese and all that stuff, all the people coming to infiltrate Africa?
Yeah.
All these other issues that we're talking about are distractionary issues.
Okay.
As soon as Africa falls to all these other colonial powers and stuff like that, everything else is not going to matter because they've taken your seat of power.
Man, talking about morality is a distracting issue.
That's not what I'm saying.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm talking about here. So if you're saying the things that we're talking
about,
that's the subject. The subject is how do you have morality without God?
You said, what's the word you used?
How do you have morality without God?
Without a God.
Okay.
And how do you think a person would be?
It's a moral way of
I've never seen the Bible.
He says what?
Some damn Nikes are more. Some damn gray Nikes are more.
I'm trying to listen.
Not another religion, but let's say it's just a completely secluded group of people.
Yes, sir.
That have never seen a Bible, have no concept of.
They can still be moral.
Anything.
They can still have some morals.
But how could they do that if they don't have a God? They don't have a higher power telling them as far as they know.
You might not have read "Thou shalt not steal." Can you not steal? You might not have read the Bible where it says "Thou shalt not kill." Can you not kill? You may not have ever read "Thou shalt not bear false witness." Can you not bear false witness?
That's the point, though.
These ain't hard questions.
That's the point.
But morality is not universal. Like for example, right?
You don't want to turn into an intellectual masturbator and all this stuff.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to make my people's intellect better. That's all.
That's true.
I'm
But the
trying.
fact remains that we can't all have the same beliefs and the same standards.
Then we're never going to have the African unity that you want if you don't have the same beliefs.
That's such a sad mindset to have. There can be unity in differences. There can be unity in different beliefs and things like that.
I thought that was Miss. Your mother made it?
Yeah.
I thought that was Miss.
Tell him.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
He's like, yes, I do got an appointment.
Is one mind needed for unity?
No.
Is that what the military does? Why is the military, United States military, so
modeling
sexy?
ourselves after a Western military.
Okay, all right, boom.
That's what we always have to focus on. We have to do stuff different.
Cool. All right,
we have to come up with different methods and modes.
Can we be unified if we all think differently?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We can do that, right? We can do that, right?
Yes.
Do black people have unity in this country?
In this country?
Yeah.
No.
Or what? All right. Let's go to Africa. Do they got unity in Africa?
No.
Why don't they?
Because of colonial Western imperialism.
And because they all think different.
No.
Yes.
That's not true at all.
Yeah, I'll show
Because,
you how.
no,
Your
no, no,
Rubens
no,
don't
I'll
think
show
like
you how.
Muslims.
I'll show you how.
Your
Because I'm
Rubens
not-
don't
I'll
think
show
like
you
Muslims.
how.
Let me give you a
Let me
second. Give me a second. Give me 10 more. Give me 10 more seconds, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Please.
My bad. Go ahead.
Yes, what I said was true, and I'm not going to let you get away from that.
That's
They are
fine.
not unified because you have Muslims there that don't think like Christians. You have Christians there that don't think like your Rubens, and you have your Rubens that don't think like a whole bunch of other people. That's why they can't get their African Union off the ground.
And let me
But that
tell
might
you
not be
something.
the only
Let me tell you
factor.
something.
That's different mindsets, though.
the
And you
fact
see
of the
how when you
matter
got
is-
different mindsets, you have less unity?
Listen, I'm an African.
But you might have
Before
some
the
land. You might have a
colonial
goat.
imperialism
There might be a
Western
woman that they want. There might
mindset
be,
came
you know,
to
like
Africa,
Africa.
we were different.
Unified.
We
Why
practiced,
are we not
there were
unified?
different
These
gods, there
doctrines
were
that they had
different
in their
beliefs, there were different
Yeah,
ideologies,
hold
all
them
kinds of
to some
things
kind of accountability.
inside
What part of
Africa.
Africa you from?
I'm from West Africa, I'm from Ghana.
From Ghana?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
from
okay.
specifically.
Okay.
I'm from, they had all
That's where
kinds
you
of
should start
different
at your
stuff,
house.
different
I do, I
tribes,
understand.
Why would I
different
start
this,
worrying
different,
about the people that have
all
power
kinds of
already?
different
I'm not
stuff.
saying
How long you been?
I'm just saying.
Here in the United States, since I was about 10 years old.
Oh, okay. Because I don't hear the accent.
No, no, yeah,
But
because
I'm sure when you get on the phone or something, you get
no,
it.
they'll make sure they get it out of you when you get here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is America.
No, that's not true.
But
Don't white people have
yeah,
something
I
called
mean,
the
Africa
European
was
Union?
very
What's that?
diverse
That's one mind.
before
They
Western
have something called
colonialism
Leo,
came over
which
there,
says if you
and
attack
then
one of us, you
used
attack
their
us all.
differences
See, we don't look at those
as
things about white
you
people.
hear,
We act like
use
they
their
disorganized,
differences
that they not
to
all
make them feel
unified.
like they
It's
could not
193
coexist with
countries
each other
unified
Right.
to share
because
their
they were
resources.
different.
But we don't have
Use
that.
those same differences to make them fight each other.
Are you
There's-
like
there-
a college professor or something?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm in college.
You in college?
Yes.
Right now? What that, Morgan or something?
Of Colorado State
But
University.
they agree.
Oh, okay,
They
okay,
agree.
okay,
The point
okay.
is they agree on a lot of things which make up the European Union.
Then what would you say your philosophy is?
My
Because he's
philosophy,
Hebrew.
my philosophy is that we are not a
Okay, but
monolith.
the point is,
Us black people,
you were talking about,
there's so many kinds of us.
Right.
We do
Do
Do you have
different
any
things. We
a
like
religion or
different
anything, or
things.
is just you just spiritual?
Do I have a personal religion?
Yeah.
they don't agree.
My personal religion is my ancestral,
Yeah, and they fight about it.
like stuff that I get from when I go home and stuff like that. We have things that we don't do, you know, and do, I guess.
But no label to it.
I'm an African. That's the beginning and the end of it. But
Bring it back to
at
one
the end of the
mind.
day, you can be different. Don't let nobody tell you that you can. You're black and you have to believe one thing. That's not true. And you have family in your community, but believe in whatever you believe.
But you
So
still
he,
got what you say. They still got what they think.
Both of y'all in school?
Disagree in the middle that the sky is blue.
But you need that for peace. You need agreement
Oh, okay.
for unity and peace. True. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You need agreement for unity and peace. And agreement is one mind.
But agreement.
I was saying to him that the
does
Europe.
not mean that it don't mean you think the same way.
No, it don't. It don't. What I was saying to him, the Europeans have collective thinking. That's how they built NATO and the EU. He said they don't agree on every single issue, and I agree with that. They don't all think the same as each country don't think the same. But they gotta have one mind to want to come sit down at the table and say we're gonna put our resources together and protect each other. Africa can't even do that. They can't even do that because they don't have one mindness. They can't even agree on enough to do that.
Because what if they did? That's the question.
Yeah, what if they did? But should we be worried about that?
It would be a war.
It would be a war, but we should try it. We should try it. They can't even get it off the ground because they can't agree.
That's like saying
Yeah,
we should
because
try to
there's
go
so
wrestle
many
an alligator.
right
You know what the
here.
outcome
So
is.
we
Fight
gotta
the
get to.
American
So
fight.
we gotta find one way.
Y'all are fighting the American fight. You need
So-
to be fighting over there.
So we gotta find one way.
If you
but
wanna
you
find
telling
one
me
way,
we-
go find that way. That's your African way. You talking like an African American.
And you know that Bible was in Africa too,
It
long
sure
before it was in Europe.
It
So why we
sure
don't want to listen to that
was.
one?
It sure was.
Why we don't want to listen to that one?
Because that's not the only thing that was in Africa.
Which one has worked for us? Africa.
Which one has worked? Thank you for saying that. Which one has worked for us? Which one was they using on the plantation?
Yeah.
To you know,
And they
indoctrinate?
was using the Quran too. Why they don't ever bring that up in Africa? But Africans love that
Which
book.
was the most popular? Which worked the most
Yo,
phenomenal?
the sub-Saharan slave trade was
which
longer
one
than
worked
it was
so
longer.
good
It was
that they
longer.
didn't need
It
the Quran
worked so
anymore?
good. You got Negroes going over to Mecca bowing to a stone. It worked so good. It worked so good. You got Negroes in Africa dressing like Arabs, eating Arab cuisine, changing their writing in Africa to Arabic, and going to Mecca and bowing to the Arabic stone and being called Abd. which means slave. That's how good it worked, the Muslim thing worked. And they had us enslaved in Africa longer than the white man did.
I'll tell you, Christianity did them better because look, we're here. You didn't even have to go to another country. Christianity got y'all locked, shackled,
yeah, but
everything else.
Okay, but are you going to tell them to stop reading that
Quran?
Quran? I already told you I'm against Christianity, and that Christianity ain't what's in that Bible, though. You don't seem to understand that.
Okay, well, I guess.
You got some learning. You got some learning to do.
Are you talking about King James version of the Bible? What are you talking about?
Ma'am, I told you that the Bible teaches we're going to take our captives in slavery. You ever heard that in Christianity before? I got that from the Bible. You ever heard that taught in Christianity before? I don't think you know what the Bible teaches. Maybe you don't. Just maybe you don't.
Maybe I don't.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
I understand. Well,
And
maybe it might have a good doctrine that talks about us getting justice for the wrongs that's been done to us. Maybe it's got a good doctrine in it that tell us why we on the bottom and why we can't get right. Maybe it's got a good doctrine to tell you how evil the white man is and he's going to pay for it. Maybe it got a good doctrine
That's not the only thing that you can learn that from.
That's not the only thing you can learn that from, but it teaches you better than a lot. And it teaches you a lot more. It teaches we the greatest people on this planet. And we got knocked down.
You might have to put a link to the Bible you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought so. You ain't never heard that before. You ain't never heard that before. She like, what Christianity is this he talking about? I sure will. I'll get it to your man.
It's in there.
He said it. You heard him?
In the King James version?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
But who was
The
teaching?
same version that said that the people of brown skin should be slaves and all that stuff like that. And
Where it say that? You gotta give me the verse, baby. What you talking about? The curse of Canaan?
yeah,
The curse that ain't all brown people. You got that from the Mormons, sis. The Mormons, what the Mormons study ain't the same thing as the Bible.
You see, that's my point though. Even in white people, they're not a monolith. They got Mormons, they got evangelists, they got all.
I understand.
They have the freedom to be different.
But
They have the freedom to be whatever, and you see, that's the
No,
curse
they
of
don't.
it.
No, they don't.
They can be whatever they want to be, and we have to be of the same mind and do the same.
They don't.
things.
They
We
don't have the right to do whatever because European countries they all got to accept LGBT.
No, a lot of them don't.
Yeah, they do. They say it on paper.
Does the KKK accept LGBT?
But does America?
Absolutely
But does
not.
America on paper accept LGBT? Yes. You brought up the KKK. That's cool. That ain't the government. They ain't got no play. They ain't got much power.
Right.
So, but the white people who run the government say you must accept it.
Like literally.
You can't say that.
But they think more. They think more alike. Yeah, they think. We know they think alike because they all went around conquering. That's thinking alike. I'm gonna go around the world and take everybody's stuff. Didn't they do that?
There's a
If I think different than you and I say,
small
yeah,
group
that sounds good, guess what we're about to go do?
But where is the power? Isn't there power in unity? And the way you get unity is unity of thought, people. Why is this so hard for African Americans to understand? Unity. I'm not trying to offend you, anybody,
You're right.
but unity comes through unity of thought.
Not religion. Thank you. Unity of
Everyone has a religion.
Not
You
religion.
got a religion.
No, not everyone
You
has
said
a religion.
Yoruba. It's a religion. Is it not spiritual practices with rights?
It's a culture.
Do you have rights? Do you have rights in it? Do you have rights in it for your God? The definition of a religion is a practice of a higher deity, worship of a higher deity through rites, religious practices. I'm sure you got rights in Yoruban. I know a little bit about Yoruban priesthood. And it's got a lot of rights in it. So you have a religion, man. Everyone does. A religion is
I choose to call it my culture.
Okay,
It's not my religion.
so when you say religion, we don't need religion. Yes, we do. This whole argument is telling you we need a God and we
religion
need
is what
rules.
got here. Got us here in the first place. If we had more culture than religion, we wouldn't be here.
Okay, then you got to say that for your African Yorubans. If they weren't so worried about Yoruban, they would have saw the white man trying to enslave us, right? But you want to put, that's where you want to send it to
when
Yorubans.
they brought religion to Africa, that's when all the nonsense started happening.
Africa had religion before the white man ran
We got
anything.
culture.
No,
We had cultural traditions,
religions,
methods,
right?
and whatnot.
You're trying to put another word on it. It's called religion.
You're trying to put another word on it.
No, I'm using the definition. I'm using the definition of
number two. This is the original.
I'm using the word, the word's definition. I'm using the definition of the word. It's a practice of serving a deity through religious rituals.
Not even all Africans serve deities.
Yorubans do though.
But not all Africans do.
But I'm just talking about yours. You said you didn't have a religion.
You know that all
do.
the continents in this world can fit inside Africa?
You do have a religion, so we do need religion, and you believe we do. That's all I'm trying to prove to you.
I don't.
You do.
I don't.
You told me to go find morality by speaking to the people in your village who are your Reuben priests.
I believe we need culture.
That's a religion.
I feel like we need to go back to our cultural roots and heritage.
Okay.
And then we can find whatever religion anybody wants to find in there.
Okay.
But there needs to come something first before something else comes. That's not how things have to go in order.
We gotta get our morality together as a people first.
Absolutely. Before you start worrying about religion, get the morality together.
You not going to have morality.
And once you start tying religion into morality, you have like what happens during the slave trade.
How they were using religion when you don't tie God into morality, that's how you sell your brothers and sisters to the white man.
When you tie religion to morality, you can use it as a tool to control people. When you keep morality and religion
separate, people need to be controlled. See, you sound like a person that has never tried to order anything, that has never tried to set up any structure, that has never tried to.
I'm sorry. You tried to look at that thing? Like the cut. He wants to spray some stuff in
like
it.
It sounds like
I would say one of the things about that.
Give me a few minutes.
About the book, right?
Yeah.
I'm on production right now.
Divisive.
There's not that it's divisive, but there's so much ways you can interpret it to make it makes it kind of like, what is it really? Because the same ones that was doing all that nonsense for 400 years was going to church on Sunday.
I understand.
Coming back during the week.
I understand.
To do whatever treachery they had going on the plantation, the hundreds.
It's crazy to me that you feel the way you feel about how we should own, all the stuff that you said in the beginning. And now you're saying you're still defending the religion. It's crazy to me because I walked in here and you said, oh no, this. And you're saying there's still a lot we have to learn from that same book. We cannot even take our minds outside of that one book that caused us so much harm and look to something else, anything else. It has to be that.
So can I ask you something based on what you just said, right?
Yeah.
The book caused us the harm, right? Did they believe in the book before the white man came?
They used the book to cause us the harm.
I'm glad you cleaned that up. Okay. Yeah. Were they using the book when they came to like enslave the people?
Absolutely not the way that they're using it today. It
so most African tribes that they enslaved.
That book that you're talking about became popularized after the fact.
Okay, so that book, when they came to get us for the slave ships, they came to Africa to get us for the slave ships. They weren't using the book, right?
No.
Most of the tribes weren't, right?
No.
So what they were using got them enslaved, not the book, right?
Which is what?
Which is what I'm asking you. It wasn't the book, but whatever they were using in Africa got them enslaved. So it wasn't the Bible, correct?
When you say got them enslaved, you can't get nobody enslaved. Somebody has to enslave you.
Okay, but
there is no getting enslaved. Somebody came to the continent.
The other
you see, this is what it does. It makes us point the finger at each other.
No,
what did y'all do? And what somebody did this to us. We didn't do nothing to each other.
And we participated in it too.
Based off of what? Mental manipulation. Right?
Okay, whatever you want to put on it, we still made a choice to participate and sell our brothers and sisters. No matter how you try to slice it.
Not to the extent that it was.
But no matter how you try to slice it, we made the choice to sell our people. And no matter the influence, you still don't have to do it.
You know what else is a fact?
But you don't have to give them. You can say, we're not giving them to you and kill them. They didn't do that though.
Oh yes, they did. Several African tribes did.
But not enough. Definitely did. Not enough. Like the Ashanti did.
You're absolutely right.
The Ashanti loved doing business with the Dutch.
Especially when they tie in religion and morality. When they say
why didn't their own religion stop them from wanting to sell their own? Why didn't their own foundational African cultural religion stop them from wanting to even sell them? They should have enough morals and value in their own, and they'd be like, we would never sell them to you. But they didn't, and they did that without knowing the Bible.
I'm genuinely not understanding what you're asking here.
I'm saying before they knew the Bible, they still sold their own. You're saying that the Bible made us such bad people where we start blaming each other. So I'm working off of that and pointing out to you that before we even knew the Bible, we were still immoral people.
You know this because a white man told you that we went over there.
I'm saying it's immoral to sell your own people to another people. That's the action I'm saying Africans did that was immoral. And with their own, one second, with their own religion wasn't moral enough to tell them it's immoral to sell your own people.
Because you know why they were selling their own people? When they were selling their own people, they're selling them into indentured servitude. They're not selling them to go be massacred.
No, yes, sir. Ghana,
yes, sir.
in
They were
Ghana,
not selling them.
a husband was
Listen,
told that he
let me
was
tell you
like-
something about Africa. We don't sell each other to be used the way that they did in this country.
That's not true.
We did not do that.
That's not
They
true.
did-
Ghana admitted to doing that.
We didn't
Ghana
boil
admitted
each other
to
in
doing
sugar
that.
bags.
Ghana themselves admitted to doing that.
Doing
though.
what? Ghana who? Tell me
Ghana
who.
in Accra, the government apologized to African Americans for
For-
selling them into slavery for guns and booze. He said.
Okay, so what
They
I
knew they
just
were
said
gonna-
to you,
Yes.
what I just said to you
Yes, ma'am.
is that we Africans
Yes.
do not sell each other. Like before the white people came,
Yes.
that stuff did happen. Like you said, indentured servitude did
Yeah.
take place. It took place even in Europe before
Yeah.
they came over.
Okay.
Indentured servitude had been a thing happening all over the world. So before we start to
I agree.
hyper scrutinize
I agree.
ourselves, let's make it real that
I'm not-
everybody did this. Indentured
Yes.
servitude was a thing
Yes.
before colonialism came to place in the slave trade.
But I'm not talking about
The thing about it though is we didn't sell each other and start mutilating each other within our own continent.
I know
It
that.
was prisoners of war. It was people like that. It was people that were able to buy back their freedom.
I
Here
understand
in
all that,
this
but we
continent-
sold them to white people that wasn't going to
How are we supposed to know?
You're supposed to know.
Exactly, when you deal with other human beings, and this is not how other human beings treat
Why
each
would you want
other.
to sell your own person to another group of people?
You're asking us to have been forethoughtful. Like you're asking us to
What's
predict
wrong
the
with asking
future.
you to have some forethought? What's wrong with that?
Why would we assume that there is a group of humans on this planet
As
that would?
immoral as white people.
Thank you. Why would we assume that is the thing when we
too
don't
trusting
deal
in-
with it?
So we were too trusting and naive.
We are human beings. That's what it is.
We were too trusting and naive.
We were human beings.
That's
We
true.
were human in our humanity, and
humans-
something else.
And humans can be too trusting
Something
and
else,
naive.
and something else came to our human continent and said, we are going to take advantage of this humanity. That's what happened. And now it's got us so confused
And
that we're
humans-
like, oh, well, why did we let that happen? There is no such thing as Back to the Future, where you can go in a time capsule and see what's going to happen.
Okay.
We had been doing this thing in our own country
Okay.
for a long, long time, and it didn't cause as much problem as these people have caused.
I'm with you. I agree.
It did not.
I agree.
It
I
did.
think they're
It
the worst
was
humans
not.
in the world.
It did not. They didn't do. We didn't do nearly the things that were done in this country.
Would you agree they're the worst humans in the world?
I absolutely would,
I'm with
and I don't even know if they are human beings. I'll be real with you.
I'm with you.
It's a different level.
I think
It's a
they-
different
I think they
level.
might be beasts.
It's a different level.
We agree. Yeah, I think they beasts.
It's a different level.
She says parasite. I like her.
I like it.
It's a different level. that you
Well,
get
we're not
to
going to get out of
life.
this situation with being immoral. Immoral people deserve to be
Managed.
managed. Yes. Thank you. That's the word I was looking. Managed. You can't bring order if we're not judging things, miss. This whole thing about you saying no, we shouldn't judge each other. That's gonna always
to a certain degree.
that's gonna always get us destroyed.
To a certain degree, I didn't say we shouldn't judge each other, but we shouldn't we shouldn't be so hypercritical of each other, like what you just said, like how you were talking about what the Africans did, and
Why? That's just telling the truth. Why
that
can't we be critical of each other? If we're
That is
gonna
not
be-
criticism. That's ignorance.
That is not ignorance.
Yes, it is.
That is not ignorance.
Because how does somebody come to your country, pull the wool over your eyes? They did something, the same thing that they did in this country with the Native Americans.
It's ignorant
and they
to
did
say
it
we
so
can't say what's right and
phenomenally.
wrong, too.
They would trade Native Americans and do
Is it not
that.
ignorant to say we can't say what's right and wrong? Let's be real about this.
Okay, so
conversation.
tell me what the Native
You said
Americans
it's
did wrong
not.
here.
You said, hold on.
Tell me what the Native Americans did wrong here.
Hold on.
Because that's the same methods that they use with the
would
Native
it not be-
Americans.
Is it fair for me to say your statement was ignorant, that we cannot know what's right and wrong? That's a pretty ignorant
I didn't
statement.
say we can't know
You
what's
did
right
say
from
that
wrong.
because your words were, we can't know what's right and wrong because we're not God. Did you not? You
I
did.
didn't
She
say.
said that we wouldn't know what they were going to do.
No, when I
Yeah,
asked
we
her
don't
about
know.
objective morality and what's right and what's wrong, she said we can't know what's right and wrong because we're not God. So then I asked you, where do I go to find out what's right and wrong according to God? That's how we got to
so
know
the situation that you described is somebody out there shot somebody on the street, somebody's mama for groceries, right?
Okay, yeah.
And you said, where?
That
At
was
what
his
point?
example, actually. I
At
admit
what
that.
point can I go out there and
Stop
intercept
it. Yeah.
the person who shot this woman?
Yeah.
And I said, You don't know why he shot that woman.
I don't need
for
to.
those groceries.
I'm telling you, I don't need to. He has to
and
be
that's
stopped.
why you are a human being only.
And he has to be stopped.
Because you only see what you see.
If you
don't
shot
have,
somebody's
you are
mother,
not,
he needs to be stopped. I don't need to be thinking about my emotions in the situation. Like, I don't know what he feels. He needs to be stopped.
You're right. He does need
So
to
why
be
you
stopped.
can't just say that?
But you cannot
Why you trying to bash
him.
me like, oh, you can't
You
judge
can't
him and
judge
you don't know
him.
what this man going through. It don't matter what he going through. He shot somebody's mom. I'm gonna arrest him. He needs to go to jail. See, this is leading to another conversation, but this is why men are a little colder for a reason.
But do you know why? Do you know who else thinks like that?
What?
White people.
And
They think in that type of finality.
how do we have...
They think just like that, and that's why we're here.
So now I'm a white
Because
man.
everybody.
Now I'm a white man because I want to
just
stop
saying.
somebody that kills
I'm
their
just
mother.
saying.
I want to stop somebody that shoots a black woman.
They cannot see
I want to
outside.
look in the camera real quick. I just want y'all to know. I'm acting like a white man to her now because I want to stop an ignorant fool who shot somebody's mother because he was hungry. She thinks I'm acting like a white man because they think in that type of finality.
No, that's not really what that
That's
is.
what I'm a white man because I want to protect a black woman who got shot. We're going to make her a black woman. I want to protect a black woman who just got shot by maybe an ignorant white guy. Let's do that. By an ignorant white guy. And she thinks that I shouldn't do it because I don't know what he's going through.
She didn't say don't do it. She said yes, you need
That's
to
what you said to me. You don't know what
yes,
he did with
yes.
you to get to have to do. Why does it matter?
That
It
might
doesn't
still be
matter.
true. That might still be true, but he still has to be stopped. Like the both.
What if that was a mother? What if that was the mother of a child sex trafficking ring? What if that was the mother of a man that trafficked children on the side, and she got shot because somebody was hungry, and you ran out there because you want to defend them, like you want to defend somebody because you don't know it all. You see, that's the thing about not being a
What about this? You brought in a whole bunch of what about and what ifs. We can't operate like that.
The whole situation was a what
We
if.
can't operate like that.
The whole situation
It was. But like he said, didn't you say he has to be stopped regardless? Regardless of all of that.
But
So
all the what ifs still exist, whatever they might be.
They do. What if he is?
Because what if you pass up an opportunity to catch a criminal that's doing sex trafficking? Just because you don't want to investigate the situation.
We stop him.
You just seeing things at face value.
Objective. Like,
you know how many situations come out like that?
All I'm saying to you is you're right. We just talked about it. You're absolutely right. He might come from a bad home. He might be a fatherless child, something like that.
And she might be the mother of a child sex trafficker.
And we can address all those things while he is locked up.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. He got to be stopped, though. And we don't need to be, while we're trying to stop him, we don't need to be considering what he went through. He just has to be stopped.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. But see, that's how you have objective morality. Everything that you talked about after I said he needs to be stopped is subjectivity. Okay. I'm saying we just have to be objective about morality. Mm-hmm. Wrong is wrong and right is right. It don't matter the situation. The situation do not change. Like if a nuke is coming, right? It's wrong that they're shooting a nuke if we did nothing to them. We ain't got no time to be like, well, Russia might have been going through something. They might have shot the nuke.
That's kind of what we're doing right now with these conversations that we're having instead of being in Africa, building schools and hospitals and all that stuff.
Of course, but Africa also didn't send no boats to get us over there to help them.
You see why? You know why?
Why?
Because
they were colonized.
Because France,
Germany,
Russia, and all these people that you met at.
Because they weren't united.
No, it's because they went and got disunited. They were united.
It's okay. I said that. They weren't united. You just said they got disunited. We saying the same thing.
They were united.
They were.
Africa.
They were. And when so if they were, then that means it was a time when they were.
We weren't united.
If you were united,
Alexander the Great would have never went to college in Egypt. If we weren't united, all these people.
He beat Egypt. If you were united, you wouldn't have lost to him.
After he went and got a college education.
If you were united, you wouldn't have lost to him because Africa's got over 50 countries. Y'all can't keep one white man out. You can't because you weren't united.
You want to know how big Africa is?
Africa's huge enough to stop a white man named Alexander the Great, right?
Do you know how big Africa is?
I understand it's big.
You don't understand it's big. Because that's why you're saying what you're saying. A white man can drop in Africa and nobody would freaking know because that's how big
But that's not what he did. That's not what he did. He came straight through Israel into Egypt. So they knew he was coming. That's you keep bringing what
They
about?
knew because of Wi-Fi, or they knew because somebody?
No, because they also have
what?
towers. They also have towers where you can see them coming. It's
By the
not a
time
lot
you
of
see
trees.
them
It's not a lot of trees in the Middle East
By
to
the
block
time
your
you
view.
see them in the tower coming, ain't much you can do to stop them.
Okay,
They're
but
already there.
why didn't anybody come help Egypt?
Because we didn't
Y'all are
have
not.
a time
They were not
capsule.
unified.
Africa cannot apologize for the atrocities
Were they
of
unified
the
when
Western.
Were they unified when they
Africa
came?
cannot and will not apologize for the atrocities of the Western people.
I don't want
and
you
the
to.
stuff that they did to Africa.
But
and
you have to
know.
hold Africa accountable for doing things wrong, and you don't want to. You just said they were disunified. That's something they did wrong. You see that? Objective morality.
Us not knowing.
We
that
don't.
these
You're
white
doing it
people-
again. We got to know what they went through.
Us not knowing. No. Us not knowing that what
Come
these
on,
white
come on,
people
Kevin.
would do
Yes, ma'am.
does not make us responsible
See, you're
for
talking
what
about
they
the
did.
white
Try to tell
people.
you,
I want to
you ain't
hold
had no appointment.
accountability on my
Try to tell you ain't had no
For
appointment.
what?
You had one the
Why
whole
were
time. You know what I
unified
mean?
to keep the white people out?
How would we know a threat if it has never come to us? How would we know something is a... It's the same thing they did to the Native Americans.
You need a threat to
You
know.
can ask that same question to the Native Americans who
And
are
I'm going to say the
almost
same thing
extinct.
about the Native Americans. The
They
Native
are
Americans
almost
lost their
extinct,
land.
y'all, because they didn't know these people before they came here. There's no way Africa could have known them before they came to Africa.
All right, now bring it back over
The same
here.
way the Native Americans didn't know them before
That's nice
they
that
came
she
here.
said that. That is not my point. She's making a point that she's arguing a straw man, as they call it, a point that I am not making. That's what you just did.
Okay,
the
so
point that
what
I'm
are you talking
making,
about?
the point that I'm making is you want to worry about white people. How can we know they coming?
They are the problem.
They are the problem. I don't.
That's all I want to worry about. I don't want to talk about
Listen,
Africa.
and I have a
what we
problem
got.
with you only
That's
want to
all
worry
I
about
wanna
white
worry
people
about.
being the problem.
That's all I wanna
black
worry
people
about.
messed up too.
That's fine. But all I want to
Black
worry
people
about,
messed up too.
all I want to worry about is the real problems that we have pressing upon us.
I'm gonna send you that link you asked for. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, I need that book
What's your
for
name?
It's your first time.
Bring it all
This is my
back.
first time.
Welcome to Conscious Heads.
Not his
you know,
first time.
Oh, not his first
No,
time.
I came here a long time ago,
Was we debating then?
like 2 or 3 years ago. No, we just was we?
Now I don't remember ever, having a discussion with you.
I think Dr.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you were here.
It could-
I was
it could
saying
jump off
something
ahead
that's gonna
anytime.
Explain how Christianity destroyed our people.
It's not Christianity. It's white people. Because Christianity was there before, like you said.
Yeah.
That's why I only want to talk about that. You see? Because
We got. If we're gonna fix something, we gotta hold ourselves accountable for doing wrong too. Though we'll never fix ourselves if we don't hold ourselves accountable. We wasn't fine. We was disunified. That's not fine.
We was fine until they came along.
We'll figure it out, guys. All right, man. Y'all have a good one, bro.
Smart man.
Smart man. Smart man.
Oh, man.
Smart man.
All I want to see is evil is good, evil. That's what I think.
BA was trying to help you, BA.
I got out of that real
You
quick.
got out real quick though. BA tried to help me.